Dwayne is awesome.
You know what else is awesome?
Dwayne
The
is
red lights.
awesome.
The red light is on. So you know what that means? It's showtime. Tonight we are back, good brothers, and we are just a few weeks out of the 2024 Royal Rumble. And tonight we have to figure out who's going to win the Royal Rumble. That's right. We're not waiting until the preview show. We're not waiting until special appearances or stuff during the week. We are going to tackle this today. We need to finally get down to it. We have so many contenders coming from the left. They're coming from the right. But tonight, the Wrestling Wrealm is going to discuss who exactly will win the Royal Rumble. Not to mention, we have to talk about TNA's Hard to Kill and their largest gate in TNA history since they've gone back to live events, as well as Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nina showing up in TNA, and so much more. All that and more right after this, because guess what, brothers? It's time. It's time. It's Vader time.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Wrealm content anytime on youtube.com/the Wrestling Wrealm. Follow us on all media platforms: Instagram, Thread, X, Facebook at Wrestling Wrealm. Like and subscribe and engage in the conversation with us. You can also download all of our audio content on Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Watch us and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Wrealm. We are in the building, and guess what? I am your host, the big man, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. In the building, he is your host. Brother Hugh has the third H to A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R, to the D. He is your host, the Belt King, the guy, Brandon, the guy, in the building tonight for the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, and soon to join us,
Hollywood!
Brian H. Waters in the building tonight for a very special episode of the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. But guess what, though? You know what makes this really, really special? It makes it so special that if you're looking for advertising opportunities, please contact us at the Wrestling Wrealm at gmail.com. That's right. You can email us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com with a subject line saying advertise, and we will reach out to you with further details. So if you want to promote your business, you want to promote your show, you want to be a part of us and what we do here, please email us and we will be happy to work together to help promote your business, or you can advertise with us here at the Wrestling Wrealm. But guess what? We're also advertising our merchandise. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, so for all Wrestling Wrealm merchandise, you can shop now at wrestlingrealm.com. That's right. So if you're looking for anything that resembles fresh, that resembles t-shirts, that resembles hoodies, mugs, and more, that resembles superior wrestling intellect, that resembles a proud wrestling fan, head over to wrestlingrealm.com. That's right. We have hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, more for all our Wrestling Wrealm Now merchandise. And pretty soon we will be doing live unboxings of all the merchandise that we have available at wrestlingrealm.com, just to give people an opportunity to see what we have, see what we've designed, and if you want to support the brand just like us. So head over to wrestlingrealm.com if you want to support us, buy our merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, merchandise, and more. Now,
And more, or just more?
And more. Trust me.
Okay.
There's always more. We have a lot. We've added jackets. We have a lot of different things. We're trying to work on hats and some things that we're trying to get involved. But yes, we will be like I said, doing some live unboxings so people can get a up close and personal look at some of our merchandise that we have at wrestlingrealm.com. But listen, we're in a playoff run, and if you are looking to purchase tickets to live concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, and most importantly, the Ravens playoff run, Head over to SeatGeek.com. You can use promo code Wrestling Wrealm for any one-time of purchase of $50 or more. And with today's prices and inflation, most likely if you buy more than one ticket, you are going to be paying over $50. Do yourself a favor. Use promo code Wrestling Wrealm. If you use this code one time, guess what? Sign up with a different email. You can use it again. So we're here to help. We've partnered with SeatGeek, and they have given us our own promo code. So we're here to help you all save some money on your tickets for any concerts, live shows, and or more. SeatGeek.com using promo code Wrestling Wrealm, all caps, one word. SeatGeek.com, promo code Wrestling Wrealm. Now, with all that being said, we have a Patreon channel. That's right. For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel. You can subscribe for just as low as $1. We have low tiers, we have high tiers. We are working on many different exclusive content for Patreon. The Wrestling Wrealm is in a crazy transition right now with championship culture. Brian just starts Realness Reacts. We're expanding the brand, we're growing, and we have to find a place to put all the things that we probably can't say on the air, or things that we just don't have time to get into. All the exclusive stories and things you guys would love to see, including our blooper reel. That's right, we do have a blooper reel, so we don't always take things completely seriously. But patreon.com/the wrestling_realm. Please don't forget the underscore. For all exclusive shows, bonus material. We'll be making some announcements soon in the future about just some of the content that will be available. So you have a better idea of what you're getting for the price that the price we're asking for and the money that you pay for it. So yes, once again, patreon.com/the wrestling_realm for exclusive shows and bonus material. Hey, look, it's Brian H. Brian H is here. Everybody, give it up for Brian H. Waters. Brian H. Waters coming off an anniversary today. Isn't that right, Brian H?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What a day.
Congratulations to Brian H. and Wednesdays Worldwide on the Ringer Wrestling Show. They are celebrating their, how was it? Is it 1 year?
Yeah, 1 year after a few dark matches, which was our, we deemed our pre-shows while we was getting ready. I think we had about 8 episodes of those that didn't air. But yeah, a year ago today, we dropped the first episode of Wednesday Worldwide.
So congratulations to you, sir. All the hard work that you
It doesn't seem like it's been that long. A year went past real fast. It don't seem like it was that long. A year went past real fast.
No, yeah. There's a lot that's gone on as far as a year is concerned, and we'll definitely we'll get into one of those things which are very, very important to us. But usually what's also important to us is this is around the time where we start to advertise the newest, the latest, the expanding, rising show of the year, Championship Culture, presented by the Wrestling Wrealm. Brother Hugh, Brandon, the guy have been working diligently on Championship Culture Season 2. If you have missed the first 25 episodes, please head to youtube.com/the Wrestling Wrealm under the playlist Championship Culture, where you can see the genesis, the beginning of the biggest, the baddest, the newest show, a part of the Wrestling Wrealm. I'll let these guys talk about it enough, but this is my chance to kind of put my 2 cents in. They are gearing up for Season 2, and it's an official announcement tour. There it is right there, bang. January 23rd, Season 2. Every belt has a story. Man, I've been watching things from a backseat to see what's been going on with Championship Culture. They are loading up for Season 2. With that being said, this is the point where Brother Brandon, Brother Hugh, you guys want to give 2 cents about Season 2? What can we expect? We have a date officially, 1/23. Can you give the people some information about what's going to happen? What can we look forward to for Season 2 of Championship Culture?
Let him have it, Brandon.
Every time I do this, Brian, they sit there and they make their face, and you don't want to say anything.
If I start talking, he's going to give me a look, and you know what's going to happen. He's going to give me a look. He's going to say I'm giving too much. But I'm here to tell you that next Tuesday, live on youtube.com/the Wrestling Wrealm, and probably streaming on X, and probably Twitch. And if we can get Facebook Live going, Instagram Live, it'll be there as well. But the 6'12", Dwayne Richard Allen has decided to take over.
A cool uncle named Richard.
Bro.
That was a singing man.
Richard will be proud.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. See, I just felt Richard in my soul today. Dwayne Richard Allen is going to take over the first episode of Season 2 of Championship Culture. Not to be confused with 5 of his creative freedom that he has for season 2. But he decided, since he had so much fun taking over last week, do we want to give him an exclusive to get him going?
Well, why not? Why not?
All right, well let's take a look at this. This is a Wrestling Wrealm exclusive brought to you by
like a VR trooper.
All I'm gonna say is hit the graphic, brother Hugh. Let the people see what episode 1 of season 2 is gonna entail.
Oh.
Oh wow!
So for those who can't see, the title is called "Finishing the Story," the Championship Culture Edition. So when you look at this picture, you'll see myself looking at the Intergalactic Belt. You'll see Hugh biting his Cosmic Championship, and then you'll see Brother Dwayne looking at the camera at his V2.
Too cool.
I wonder what's going to happen when he finishes. I don't even say he, but when we finish the story on episode 1 of season 2. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, if you look back at the other episodes of the Wrestling Wrealm, some things went down, and it started off, but it left you with the what's next? But when I tell you, you do not want to miss this part of finishing the story. Has a lot of twists. It has a lot of turns. It has a lot of ups. It has a lot of downs.
Definitely got a lot of double turns.
It's got some left, some rights, some ABC start for all those Sega Genesis fans out there. All I'm gonna say is this this will be an episode to see, and if you see it live, you will definitely not be let down. Hugh, did I miss anything here?
Nah, should we drop that teaser though? They've seen it before, but we're gonna drop it again.
Okay, go ahead. Oh.
It's belt time. Waiting on these championship culture boys. We out here in the hood. Waiting these championship culture boys to come and drop off this ECW television championship. So yeah, wait for Brother Brandon to pull up so we could do this little strange. So you never know what championship culture got. They always pulling some type of shenanigans. So we'll see what happens. These dudes coming up the street? Nah, I don't see him just yet. Is this him right here? I think we got action. Yep. Here we go. I think they just pulled up. What's up, brother Hugh? What are you doing?
Why do you have what you call it out?
Nah. Nope. I got treated like the police, bro.
You're up to something.
Nah, y'all up to something, bro.
I'm not. I'm really not.
What's up, brother Hugh?
What's going on? Listen.
Didn't say you was coming, man. What's going on?
I'm coming with a...
What's up? How you doing, brother?
Oh. So
Brother Hugh's here.
I'm with a peace offering, but I brought you a belt. Will you stop recording me?
Nah.
Coming with a peace offering.
Look at these guys. First of all, we in the hood. Like, this is a belt exchange.
Listen, I'm coming with a peace offering.
Yeah.
And this is the belt, I promise you. But I brought you the belt bag, too, because I know how you are.
That's crazy. Every time I watch that clip, man, it's funny because Brian H., you were supposed to be there. It's crazy. I can't wait to finish telling the story.
You're supposed to be there.
All I'm saying is everybody has a story. And if you've been paying attention to the Wrestling Wrealm, you had a belt in the background, and the way you made it known was like, oh, wow. Oh, look at that. So, of course, to make things right, that's why I had to take the television title to him. But wait, there's more. That's all I'm going to say, because that was actually pretty funny. Let me make sure you ain't got nothing in the background, do you? Let me see what you got. Is that your ROH?
Nah.
Okay.
Right here, yeah, that's the ROH.
Okay.
Got a couple t-shirts back there. We had merch back here, baby. Merch.
Championship culture. Always up to something. Season 2.
I guarantee you this one will be a good start to the season. That's all I'm going to say. I can't wait till next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, when we go live to finish this story.
No, it's definitely gonna be a staple. Like I said, if you want to catch up on season 1, youtube.com/the Wrestling Realm playlist championship culture. Trust me, if you want to get educated on championships, championship belts, replicas, belt makers, custom titles, all that and more, trust me, championship culture is the place where you want to be. So once again, youtube.com/the Wrestling Realm championship culture season 2. Once again, coming soon. I love keep planning out yours as a teaser. So like I said, if you're listening to it, you just have to check it out. But if you want to watch it, here it goes. Boom. So there you have it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
bird for.
No, there you go. It's just, I don't know.
I just wonder.
No, he just can't.
Like an eagle.
You can't talk to an X-Men fan, a comic book guy, and ask about a Phoenix. I'm not gonna do that tonight. It's okay. That's why they laugh. As much as we're having a good time, and we talked about it's been a year already. It's also been a year.
My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off real quick, but can I give a shout out to Brother Guy? Brother Guy's been doing a phenomenal job. He's been hot right now, designing belts. We have a happy customer who basically recorded himself and just gave us a shout out. Let me play that real quick.
I'll admit I'm not up on all the trends, and I'm also kind of old school. So in the world of wrestling, it's like Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage. Like that's my era. So I don't know like all the new guys or whatever. But here's what I do know. That now I'm the undisputed intercontinental heavyweight champion of the world. Thank you for the gift, Maurice. This one, championship style.
Now, Maurice is the young man who reached out to us and got that as a gift for his friend. But Brother Brandon, the guy, put all his marbles into this and the little bit of marbles that he had. But he did his thing, designed a nice, beautiful belt, did a great thing for someone, and he loves it. So shout out to Maurice. Shout out to Sincere. You can follow him at Sincere. He's the author and all that good stuff. Check him out. Follow Championship Culture. He's a great friend of the brand. So just shout out to brother Guy real quick.
Definitely.
I like to give him his flowers. I like to give him his flowers every once in a while because I stay on his butt all the time. So
yeah, you
gotta say something nice about him.
I thought I was hard on people. Goodness gracious, yes. For you to be his producer, Championship Culture, right. But definitely shout out to you, sir, Brother Brandon. You have been designing like crazy. There's a lot to get into. Like I said, season 2 of Championship Culture is going to be nuts. Just how you kind of just delve into just the creation and the creative side of creating championships. But a lot of this won't be possible without you. So we appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you.
You made that video?
Yeah, he had to modify it.
You made that video?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's dope. Look at you.
Yeah, brother. He been in his bag. He been in his biggie bag. Like he been on one.
Getting it in. I know he was ready for a podcast gasm tonight, but that's a video gasm.
Oh, trust me. We got to figure this out. Can you believe we're gonna be talking about Dolph Ziggler 2 weeks in a row?
Bro,
I know, right?
No, it's crazy.
All I'm gonna say is every belt has a story. I'm starting to feel like every graphic has a story because he be putting his toes in these graphics.
I'm not doing them anymore.
Playing about these things.
I'm not doing them anymore.
Big right toe, the one with all the toe jam in it. Yeah, that's
wow.
Y'all got it. Y'all take care of social from now on. I'm chilling.
I'm just showing up. That's all he.
Bro,
I saw y'all cooking.
Don't ask me anything else.
He sent me something and be like, "What you think about this?" All right, slide this to the left, to the right, boom, done. But I sent him a video. He like, "No, you need this. No, you need it." Like he was the intro finished, but we still gotta tweak some things.
We're gonna tweak it, but we do have a clip of that like too. You want to drop that?
I don't know. We can't take over all of the show. It's 20 minutes in. I don't know. Let's see. Did Dwayne already see it?
I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw the actual intro to the show. Do you guys have an intro to Championship Culture?
We have a sneak peek.
I want to see. Yeah, I want to catch it when it's live.
Well, see that.
so much for that, Brian H.
Nope. Nope.
I just said, no, I don't want to say so loud that it would be safe. You guys are so considerate. Good gosh.
Right.
He was saying no. You gonna see it anyway. He was a jerk.
Yeah.
That's for that smart comment you made earlier. That's all right. I got it. I heard you.
Season 2.
Which one? Oh,
don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later.
Right there you go.
VR.
Appreciate the love in the comments. Thank you, everybody.
Shoot.
Look.
All right. We didn't acknowledge
in the comment. Yeah, please. Because there's some things coming. I see some people in the chat. You wanna pay attention to that, brother? Richard Allen.
Brother Brandon's number on.
Bro, I can't even keep up, yo. I just said, like I said, you got to record everything for evidence. I don't blame, brother. Look, I'm with you, Dylan. Sorry, we apologize for not addressing the audience. You guys are with us. Like I said, you guys are a huge part of the show, but we want to acknowledge everyone who is in the chat right now. Thank you for being a part of the show. Trust me, stick around. It's going to be one of those fire ones. We want to hear everybody's opinion because tonight we are going to discuss who is going to win the Royal Rumble. We're going guns a-blazing. We're not holding anything back. We're going to figure it out tonight before everybody starts doing their Royal Rumble preview shows. We have to get to the bottom of this tonight. Now, whenever you watch this. But with that being said, it's been a year since we lost the legend. Since we lost Jamin, since we lost Jay Briscoe, it's crazy that it's been a year, snuck up on us, man. But he was someone that we worked with. He was someone that treated us like, more than colleagues. He treated us like family. That's how him and his brother have always treated anybody that's had the opportunity to work with them both. So for those who are listening, for those who are watching, excuse the dead air for a moment, but we would just like to take a moment of silence to acknowledge our brother, the late, the great Jay Briscoe. We thank you all. We thank you for your patience and allowing us to have that moment. But shout out to Jay Briscoe. Shout out to Mark Briscoe. Shout out to Jay Briscoe's daughters who have overcome a lot of traumatic experience and is, on a very, very, very great and healthy road to recovery. So much love to his family, to his widow and his children who are survived by him. So, like I said, we'd be remiss if anybody, if we didn't celebrate or talk about, just take a moment to acknowledge, it's been a year since the passing of, like I said, late great Jay Briscoe. Shout out to AEW Jazzwares and the Ring of Honor Vault, AEW Vault, for commemorating the Briscoes and a new Briscoe Brothers 2-pack, which I will be getting my fingers on sometime in 2024. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Brian H., ring the bell. And there it is. I'm not sure if you all heard it, but the bell has rung and the show must begin. Thank you all for joining us. Please keep your opinions. Listen, put them on your fingertips and get ready to throw them at the screen. It's because tonight we have a lot to get into. But first, good brothers, what did you guys watch this week? If you those who don't know it, we have a segment called What Did You Watch? Every week it can be sponsored by you if you want to contact us at wrestlingwrealm@gmail.com, where we sit back and we discuss what we got into this week to keep our minds fresh and prepared for this show. So let's start there. Gentlemen, what did you watch? Brian H., you want to go first, good brother? We missed you last week.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I didn't miss him.
See, I'm sorry. I knew he was going to say that. I felt like I felt like that moment was going to happen. But Brian H., go ahead. I'm sorry. Brother, he has that hat and that shirt on. It's just like these championship culture guys never let you live. They was on one last week. This is shenanigans out of control.
I saw.
I'm trying to get back in order. Like I'm trying to behave myself. Get things.
Yeah, I was quiet. I'm quiet.
This is what happens. You give these Dave a show. You let them do a takeover. They don't know how to act.
Yeah, they've been unleashed.
The takeover was televised.
Wow. But yeah, this week, actually, it's Royal Rumble season. Shout out to my co-host Cal from Wednesday Worldwide, also the senior editor for The Ringer. Shout out to him and Ben. I'm working on the Royal Rumble mixtape. So some of the World Championship matches that's happened in the Royal Rumble. So that's the next article, looking to drop next Thursday ahead of the Rumble. So I've watched a few of those matches. And one that I really enjoyed, spoiler alert, that will be on there, Bret Hart versus Diesel, 1995. The beginner of 95. Obviously, y'all know, you remember that one, the Royal Rumble with Lawrence Taylor pushed Bam Bam Bigelow and pushed him to the main event of WrestleMania, something probably never thought we would see. But I did a lot of Royal Rumble watching between that and right now. I have the Royal Rumble. I'll say this and see what y'all think. That a lot of people deem their favorite Royal Rumble match ever, and I'll let y'all take a guess at that.
Let me think. See, I freeze up in moments like this. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't expect Brother Brandon to say it.
Royal Rumble match. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I hate when people ask me stuff. I'm like, I can't. What is
Cena made his triumphant return after only being out for like a day or two from the torn. Cena made his triumphant return.
No, it's not that way.
Would maybe the Undertaker over?
No, dear favorite Rumble, the 92.
Okay.
Dylan said it in the comments.
Yeah, yep.
Dylan said 92.
I was looking at yep, that's it, Dylan. The 92 Rumble. A lot of people, you hear a lot of the old school guys talk about it as their favorite, or a lot of 80s babies. I know the reason why I made the joke with Brother Brandon, because Brother Brandon tends to lean more towards the ruthless aggression as opposed to the golden era of wrestling. But yeah, that's the one.
But that did have that cool graphic. That's that one that looked like a comic book, didn't it?
Yep, it sure did.
That's that one. That's that. I remember. That's the cool. Rumble.
And you know what the crazy part about it is?
What's that?
They told Bret Hart stay home.
Did they really?
Bret Hart stayed home. They didn't have nothing for him. And they remember they took the title off of him to put it on the Monty, and then Piper won the title that night. That's when Bret fought Piper at WrestleMania 8. But you look at this Royal Rumble. I mean, you talking everybody: Hogan, Piper, Savage, Flair.
But is that what Flair? That was his first one, right?
Yep, that's the one Flair won.
The first.
This is the first one that was for the WWE title. The next year, 93, was the first one that would create the stipulation that we know now, where the winner gets the title shot.
Okay. Because I always get those mixed up in the early 90s. Because I'm like, was that the first one or the second one? Because I can remember the second one is when he put his title up, or that's when it was put. I couldn't remember which one it was, but that was when he won the title.
He was only in this one because 90. Yeah, he was 93. He had just got fired off of Raw. He lost the Loser Leaves Town match like the week or two before.
Why did I think he was in another? Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been if he was. Yeah, I feel like he got, because I remember that Raw. It was the second episode of Raw. Yeah, he lost the Loser Leaves WWE match to Mr. Perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, so and it is funny because now here comes Sid. This one he was Sid Justice coming to the ring. Which I also watched.
Blue trunks on. Was he wearing the
singlet? You know it. He was wearing the blue trunks with the flowy hair. But I watched his match with HBK also in San Antonio.
All right.
Which I'm not a fan of Alamo Dome.
No, I didn't like that role. That's anyway. Shout out to Brian. He's always keeping us astute with the history of professional wrestling. One of the greatest things he's always been the Schwabi of professional wrestling. Remember that show, Stump the Schwab?
Yeah.
So, that's Brian H for professional wrestling. What about you, brother Hugh? What did you watch this week?
Yo, you know he watched.
You already know what I watched. Yes, sir.
He was here to show the world.
Yeah. You know, we're gonna get into that a little bit later.
That's why I had to put it on the Instagram song. I did that just for you.
Cool. It was perfect. No, that made perfect sense though. I expected Brother Hugh to watch plenty of Dolph Ziggler stuff, but I'm not even gonna let him get started. Brother Brandon, what did you watch this week, sir?
So in order to know, I started with one thing, but then tonight
the rabbit hole.
No, I didn't go down the rabbit hole, but they're gonna send me down a rabbit hole. Thanks, man, up at Bells and Belts for their show tonight. It was the NWJP Japan show part 2. And it's actually crazy because when I say it gave you a lot of, like, Ben broke down the Triple Crown belt. Mm-hmm. They broke down like the top federations in New Japan, who owns them, you know, the male and female counterpart. When I tell you, it was like I said, I just stopped everything I was doing, was just like this, and just listening and watching, and it was insane. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna see if Dwayne, because you know a little bit about this strong style. What's the other style that Japan is known about?
They are known for its Strong style, and they have a very the death matches.
Nope, King Road style. But if you want to learn more about that, check out Bells and
Hmm.
Bells on YouTube. And it's the New Japan Part 2. And if you know anything about Ben Walker, he is New Japan Ichiban Strong. Like he is,
Oh,
if
I
you
gotta
want
go
to
back
say
and watch
anything about
this.
that, yeah, when I tell you, I'm sitting there, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. And it was like their strong style is a prequel to like MMA. So it was when I
Yeah,
say informative, I was like, oh, because we all became, well, not we, but when I became a fan, it was like the Shinsuke Nakamura era, TNA doing things with them. Like we
that
knew about them in the
2008ish.
WCW, WWE, but we really didn't. I didn't. I'm gonna just say that I really didn't pay attention to them until they started ROH, and a lot of things
Yeah,
that ROH does comes from New Japan, like the
yeah,
ribbons in the ring, the Honor Club. But they went
yeah.
into a whole big hit. When I say these guys did an awesome job, it was like, oh, okay, what's next? What's next? It was just
Mm,
really good. So I appreciate that. So if you get a chance, Bells and Belts on YouTube, follow them. Every Wednesday they do a show. It's kind of like I feel like we're like back in the day. It's like an 8 o'clock time slot and then a 10 o'clock time slot. They
Yep.
kick off the night for us. So thank you guys for that.
no, that's pretty cool. All right, no, I gotta check that out. That sounds like something that's in my wheelhouse. So
Yeah, when
yeah,
you say about King Road style, I was like, I've never heard of that until now.
yeah. I've
But
just known about death matches, kind of leading into what would we saw in the States as hardcore wrestling without the pop
Mm-hmm.
culture. But yeah, that's actually has my attention. And so yeah, I got into a bunch of sorry, brother Hugh, Dolph Ziggler previous matches. I was watching all the matches where he wore white boots.
Yes, sir.
Um,
As
it's
did I.
because that
you
the
got on white
wrestling
boots right
realm,
now.
the wrestling realm is officially going to launch a campaign to bring back the white boots campaign for Dolph Ziggler. We love the fact that Nick Nemeth is doing his own thing, but we tired of seeing the wrestling shoes. We want to see the white boots. Be
Hashtag
be
white people.
who you used to be and be better than that. But we need the white boots. That's more on that later. But we'll get into that later. We'll get into that at a moment's notice. But let's start the show, fellas. The first thing on our agenda is there's a lot happening. We're in January. Wrestling is getting ready to transition, and they're setting the table for the biggest event of the year. But a lot happens as soon as the year turns, and it's no different for most promotions around the world. This is an excellent time to be a professional wrestling fan, a proud wrestling fan. And we are going to go once again. We're going to go back to Japan real quick, is because something happened at an event that I didn't think we would see. Actually, a New Japan Strong event. Somebody showed up and they made a statement that I'm not really sure what that statement is or if it was planned or what. But guess what? We are the Wrestling Realm. We are going to talk about it. Bang. First of all, what in the world? Jack Perry, he's not even, no Jungle Boy fashion. Jack Perry shows up in New Japan, and not only does he shows up in New Japan after the match, he attacks. Um, I'm sorry, I literally just forgot his name just that quickly. But he attacks him, and then he pulls out a contract, and on that contract, it literally said AEW, and he rips it in half. And visibly on his arm, he is wearing an armband that literally says "Scapegoat." What in the world is going on? My first question is, this is too good to be a storyline because usually AEW messes these type of things up. So I'm saying to
Didn't I say
myself,
that
yo,
here?
what's going on? Jack Perry
Didn't
showed
I
up in
say
New
that?
Japan
So funny.
Mm-hmm.
with,
Definitely did.
with listen to me, with an obviously serious demeanor. If you look at his face, you look at his beard, and I'm like, this is what Brian H was talking about a long time ago. Like, bro, we need to see this version of whoever this person is. And it looks like he has a statement or something to say. And I think he made that statement. Good brothers.
Yeah,
We are
he's no
starting
longer
off this
George of the Jungle.
bang. Jack Perry shows up in New Japan and rips up his AEW contract. What in the world is going on? Brian H. Talk to the people. What's going on with Jack Perry and what the heck is he doing in New Japan ripping up an AEW contract?
Look, man, I'm here for it. I don't know if he low key got punished, or maybe he felt he didn't do nothing wrong. But shoot, by any means, sometimes you can be in a shoot and then you find out the best work for you. And I have been saying I did not get, didn't understand it, did not like nothing about Jungle Boy. At that moment, yep, exactly. He came out and cut that promo, and he became Luke Perry or Jack Perry. I was like, okay, I'm here for it. And now to see this, he's got my attention. You know, and man, you said something key, like, yo, it's too good to be written by them.
There's no way in the world.
Yeah, I mean, maybe AI wrote it. Maybe they hit it in Chat GPT. Because that's the only thing that's gonna save AEW storylines right now and Ring of Honors. But this is good, man, and I'm excited for it. I tell you, like, I was listening to the homie Chris Van Vliet earlier, and he had Lexus King on there, and a lot of the stuff is, you know, that reinvention. You know, and now when you see these wrestlers and these superstars reinventing themselves, it's good, and it shows you where the business is today, because like we talked about it here, we're in a serious boom period, probably the best boom period we've been in our adult lives.
And heck yeah,
you know, and I like this for him because now going over there, I'm interested, you know, and I want to see what's going to happen. So yeah. I don't know if this is a gimmick or not, a storyline, but shoot, it's got my attention. That's what it's supposed to do.
Let's ask Brother Hugh. Has a third. Is Jack Perry under contract to AEW right now? Like, what's going on? Or is this one big ruse because we have these wrestling partnerships, and because New Japan has wrestling partnerships with TNA and they have wrestling partners with AEW? This is all in one big boat because of. I mean, what's going on? Are you buying this? Is he really? Do you think he's done with AEW? Has he officially ripped up his contract? Is he like foregoing his suspension, saying I quit and working for another promotion outside the States? What's going on? Is this for real?
This is gonna hurt me, but
you don't start many statements like that, Brother Hugh.
But I'm gonna give AEW the benefit of the doubt.
No, come on, not you.
Hey, I'm gonna put a little bit of faith in them right now and say, look, this is part of their master storyline.
What?
I feel like they're gonna. It's all a ruse. He's gonna come back somehow. He's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be some sort of like invasion angle. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's wild.
Wow. Okay.
I like Dylan. Dylan. Is it Dylan?
Definitely Dylan. Definitely Dylan. You know it.
Those for watching.
Put it out there. Put it out there.
Somebody entertain Dylan so he don't get to take it off the screen. Dylan, just keep fact checking stuff. Give Dylan right on facts.
We love it.
I need to find that shirt again though too.
Yo, you definitely had it. You had it in pink.
I had the pink one, yeah.
Yo, I need to find them all. He matched it with the shoes too. Rocking that Oriole game.
He definitely had the shoes and the socks to go with the fit. The Dolph Ziggler.
That's when I knew he was in love with Dolph.
It was the Jordan 11s. Yep. South Beach. Yep. You know. But yeah, for sure. I'm hoping that they can spin it off into some sort of like invasion angle, or he comes back and just, I don't know, it makes a real impact in the AEW.
Okay.
I'm just hoping. I'm praying.
Okay, so you're taking a positive outlook when it comes to this. Let's ask Brother Brandon. You just finished watching Bells and Belts, and they talked about extensively New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan isn't necessarily always known extensively for their storylines, right? Their storylines usually they usually start in the ring somewhere, and then they evolve based off the competition outside of like the Bullet Club, which is kind of like anti-Japanese wrestling culture, and they were kind of counterculture. And it's same thing with the original creation of what they consider the NWO. The whole point of that faction was to create a counterculture against traditional, Japanese style professional wrestling. Are we seeing the same thing here? Is this for real, or is this, once again, is this AEW's attempts to try to make lemonade out of a bag of lemons? Are you buying this, Jack Perry? Is he really like it? Is he the scapegoat of the situation? Like, what's your take on Jack Perry showing up in New Japan and ripping up his AEW contract? Is this storyline or is this real?
So part of me want to agree with you, but the other part of me wants to agree with Jack Daddy Hollywood, because on Bells and Belts they actually made reference, and it was kind of close to what you were saying before, how New Japan always has. They take that person and make them into the star. Like Finn left. They had AJ there, but then Kenny Omega came in, and when AJ left, Kenny Omega slid in. When Kenny Omega was on his way out the door, Jay White was there. So we've seen a mass exodus. Yeah, like you got a David Finlay there, and now who else do you have really from the States that's actually the next person? Now, remember last week I said, oh, this is good for Dolph to be there because he doesn't have to go towards the world title. And remember, I stated Dolph going to TNA, he will have to go right to the world title. Lo and behold, look what happened on Saturday. But when it comes to New Japan, it's interesting to see. I hope he's done with AEW because this could be the next thing that we talk about. Now, am I saying he's going to be a Jay White or a Kenny Omega level talent? I'm saying I don't know. Because did we know that Jay White and Kenny Omega, once New Japan got their grip on them, they were going to become what they did?
No.
Because remember, Jay White was a whole different character when he started New Japan, and they gave him that Switchblade character.
He was a young lion. He did Excursion in Ring of Honor.
And remember, when he became the Switchblade, it was like a whole different person.
Yeah, complete. That's how it was with Shinsuke Nakamura. That's how it was with Okada.
But the difference is they're homegrown. These are people that came in. So that's the thing that I'm interested to see because remember, certain people have came over there and really tried to get the New Japan rub, but got pulled away for other things. But this,
like who? Drop names.
Jonah.
Ooh, Big Jonah. Sorry.
You know, like exactly. You see what I mean? So it's like always those people that kind of like transition. And look at you guys. The Good Brothers became the Good Brothers there, and it was like they were good before, but it was like, oh man, once New Japan got a hold of them. It made you pay attention to them.
Yeah,
when they were able to put that into them. So Jack Perry and AEW, I hope it's done. And I hope that if this is going to be a Forbidden Door match, that it's him versus somebody at AEW, please let it be just a New Japan. But a part of me kind of think that Tony Khan might be like, oh, what if we do this? Hey, holding on to this partnership or something. But I hope not because he didn't tweet about it. That's why I think it is. He still got his hands in it because he likes to rant like a little kid when things don't go his way. But he was very quiet about this when he ripped up the contract. He didn't tweet anything.
No, yeah, I was shocked. I'm telling you, listen, there's to be a wrestling fan right now and to have so many promotions where guys can work, where we are familiar with so much talent. Like it's at one point it was like WWE and AEW, but there's room now. Like there's. The powers that be are making their play when it comes to professional wrestling and getting some serious talent. But only time will tell. We'll keep our eyes on this whole situation with Jack Perry showing up in New Japan Pro Wrestling at that New Japan Strong event with ripping up his AEW contract with a armband and state scapegoat. But we got to move on to another guy who has been. First of all, we need to figure out what's the deal with him and where's he signed to. He has been all over the place. Last week we sat and we talked about the return of Nick Nemeth, the return of Dolph Ziggler, and we were like, "Oh man, it's a great opportunity for him to go to New Japan. It's perfect for him, you know, going after the global championship, putting it over." And then at TNA Hard to Kill, bam, he shows up at the end of the event in the main event, and he confronts the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion in Moose. And then he takes off into the crowd. He rips his shirt, and it looks like he has made his intentions very clear. He has a TNA Wrestling T-shirt. Now, last week on the show, Brother Hugh, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't remember which. Was it last week, Brother Hugh?
It was last week.
Last week on the show, he said, "Man, I would love to see him in TNA." And I was like, I said, Brother Hugh, I don't know. It's not a big enough stage for him. Boy, was I wrong.
I was too. Remember, I said if you go to TNA, you got to be the champion, the world champion instantly. And look what he's going. But we don't skip over the fact that he would have made another graphic with Dolph. We never got two different graphics back to back.
Not back to back. This is his week, brother.
And then you see how he coordinated everything. You saw the little yellow splash, and he ain't got the blonde hair, the Dolph Ziggler glamour pose. He got an action shot this time.
I'm not doing it anymore. Like so when you look at,
is he yelling? He's yelling your name.
like word bubbles right there bottom up just says Brother Hughes pads the third. So we look at Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler shows up, and we're going to keep calling him Dolph Ziggler. So no disrespect to Nick Nemeth, but you're Dolph Ziggler. He shows up at the end of TNA Hard to Kill, and that's pretty much the conversation that's going to lead us into this. He shows up at TNA Hard to Kill. like I said, makes his intentions kind of clear. His new theme is nowhere near as good as the Dolph Ziggler theme, but we'll adjust to it. And he rips off his shirt and he has a TNA wrestling shirt on. Brothers, where's Dolph Ziggler signed to? What's going on? Like we're here to talk about TNA Hard to Kill. We'll talk about that show briefly because we don't have time to get into just everything about that show. We're just going to highlight it. But like I said, the biggest highlight of the show for us is Dolph Ziggler kind of making his what's going on. I don't know where he's signed to because not only that, he has a match set already for New Japan that is going to be his debut match. He has a match already set up for TNA. And we're talking to woman, and then he has a match he set up to face off with his good friend Matt Cardona and GCW later on as well. I'm trying to figure out where the heck is Dolph Ziggler signed. Now I know if he signs with TNA Wrestling, he can still work those events. They have a partnership with New Japan. He can still work the indie shows. He can do whatever he wants to do. So, Brother Hugh, how do you feel about Dolph Ziggler showing up at TNA after we spent all that time on the show last week talking about how great he's going to be in New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Remember, this is 46 minutes, 11 seconds.
Right. Talk to the people.
I love it.
But why? Now, you mentioned this last week. Why did you want to see? I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Why did you want to see Dolph Ziggler, particularly in TNA? Because we're going to get in there. Obviously, you saw something that none of us really picked because I didn't think it was a big enough platform for him. But you had said something last week. You said, "Yo, I would love to see him in TNA." Now he's there. I don't know in what capacity yet. We haven't figured it out. But what is it about Dolph Ziggler that you wanted to see him kind of in TNA?
But I just think he fits in overall. It's a better platform for him. Yes, I do think that he's a little bit big. Like he's bigger. He's too big for that platform. But it works out because he can work those other promotions like he's doing, like Matt Cardona did. He could work that indie scene. Now, yes, he could have done the same thing at AEW, but my fear is AEW would have just used him wrong in the first place.
I agree.
So with him being a wanted man, showing up on the scene, he
I like how you put that in there, him being a wanted man. That's his thing now.
Yeah, absolutely. He can go out there and he can produce. He can be himself. You can tell he's just having fun with this right now.
Yeah.
And he's not tied down by anybody right now. So he can just go out there, produce, put on great matches like he always do, put people over. And he can actually just have fun with this.
Brother, he's talking like his personal agent. He's not tied down to anybody right now. He's just doing his thing.
He's not. Let's be real. Let's be honest.
No,
he's not curtain jerking anymore.
No, I'll definitely say this. I'm glad that he's in this position because I remember this is what we were concerned about before when we had the conversation. Like, well, where do you want to see Dolph Ziggler end up at? Where would you see Nick Nemeth? And we wanted to make sure we didn't want to see him in AEWs because they usually take a name, make a big deal about you, and then you kind of you get lost in the shuffle. And it's like, it's like when now, I don't know if he signed a TNA like you said, but in this is what we wanted to see of him. We wanted to see him in all big situations, always in control, always at the top of the card. And he is, goodness gracious, he's much needed star power for a place like TNA. He's much needed star power for a place like New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's much needed star power for the places like GCW and those, I call them mega indies right now, kind of those go-to destinations.
That's
and like I said, he's not hurting. He's not hurting for money. He's been in the WWE for a far long time. He's had some ridiculous contracts, so it's like he gets to call his own shots. He gets to be at the top of the card, and I'm more than happy to see him.
I just want to see the new dance partners.
Even TNA. I mean, and that's kind of what we've been. We always talk about on this show is dance partners. But speaking of dance partners, TNA Hard to Kill, their largest gate in recent history. I don't have all the facts and all that important information, but they had a very successful show in Vegas. So like I said, and it capped off with Dolph Ziggler showing up at the end of the night. I wanted the fans to be a little bit more, a little bit more rambunctious than they were. But I think, but the crazy part is in very 2024 fashion, like the fans were too busy, like behind their phones trying to capture this moment that it was like they couldn't even live in it because it was so shocking. But it was such a good arrival. But how you guys think that TNA did in their first pay-per-view as they kind of hit the reset button and go into this next phase of the TNA era, brother guy?
I think that TNA is back, and Tony Khan spent 2023 worrying about WWE. 2024, he needs to look at TNA Because if he's not careful, TNA can take over that because it's far between 1 and 2, but it's real close between 2 and 3. And TNA showed it. And I'm not trying to be funny. TNA took over the sexy belts. They showing that they showing right now. If you ain't see Hard to Kill, they showed you might not know who this person is, but you're gonna watch Thursday because you're gonna be interested. The fact that Jordan Grace defeated Trinity in her undefeated streak meant more than her winning the title, and Trinity's still going to be on the show. So not only did TNA say, "Oh, y'all think she gone?" Even if she leaves for the Rumble, you're going to tune in because it's already out there. She didn't been there for the tapings, but look what TNA has been able to do. They made Will Ospreay still feel like Will Ospreay after. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about Moose, but I care that now he's a champion because look who's after him.
Sure,
Moose keeps winning in those facts of like, oh, here we go. But then it's like, oh, he won because of this. You know what I mean? It's always an extra storyline. And with Dolph there, as much as I hate to say it, he got to fight all the TNA originals that he missed out on 20 years ago. He's got to. I mean, when him and Josh Alexander get across on each other, it's going to be, everybody's going to be standing ovation just talking about this is awesome. Like, it's, if you just go back and watch the women's tag, everything about Hard to Kill was on purpose. It was a purpose for each match. And it's like TNA said, oh, y'all might have forgot about us as Impact, but you ain't going to forget about TNA. And it's it's definitely worth the. I was happy Crazy Steve won. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was just like,
see how jacked he looks now.
He don't even look like the same person, do he?
I don't remember Crazy Steve be like he was kind of a Darby Allin looking guy. Now he's like, oh, he looks a full blown professional wrestler now.
No, but they have a good mixture of talent that you're going to be able to, and they utilize them so well. Nobody's oversaturated. It's not heavy with factions, not heavy with tag team. The best tag team right now is ABC, but they got so many people that they can contend with, but they still come out looking good. Like every time.
ABC is young. So
any match with them, it's like I was a little nervous that he was going to drop them, but I'm glad they kept the belts because that one probably was my favorite match of the night.
Okay, Brian H. TNA Hard to Kill. Hit the reset button. Where do you think TNA goes from here now that they've kind of made their statement? They've had some title changes, we've had some moments, and we've even had some superstars show up to show their support. You know, there's been some buzz about Mercedes Moné showing up with Bailey and we saw pictures of her, Jordan Grace, but just overall to enjoy the show. But where does TNA go now? And tell me somebody or somebodies that you would love to see help TNA. I have I have people in mind. I want to see where your brain is. Brian H. TNA Hard to Kill. Where did they go?
I know exactly where he gonna go.
I would love to see him work with WWE in a sense.
No, really?
Yeah, not so much in crossover promotion, but kind of like when they had that little working relationship a few years ago when you saw Mickey James go from
that's true though
with the women's world championship.
Yeah.
To the Royal Rumble. I would like to see some stuff like that. And somebody I would like to see kind of go there and kind of get his feet wet, maybe have a small feud. Somebody like a Cedric Alexander. The people that's not really doing nothing that would, because you can't send everybody to NXT.
Yeah.
NXT is loading up. So
NXT is definitely like reloading with like Ridge Holland going back and Baron Corbin kind of staking his claim and
I would treat it like I would treat reality wrestling.
Okay. Farm system type.
Yeah, because right now, my biggest thing with TNA is that I want to see it on a television network, and this me being here in Baltimore and not being able to have access to it.
Yeah, it's not on Comcast or Xfinity.
Yeah, so I want to see it. Like I want to be able to see it, but if you're not putting it on a network that's everywhere, you
want to sit down on a Thursday and cut TNA on, like you do on a Wednesday or a Monday.
Right.
You want to be able to sit down and let me cut it on.
That's the day that's open, right? Thursday.
Yeah. So put it somewhere, But if you're not gonna do that, shoot, let WWE go over there a couple of times, a couple of superstars, nothing too crazy. Like I said, do it like you do. We've seen the Street Profits go to Evolve. We've seen them go, so do it like that.
Remember which fellow went there with the cruiserweight title and fought Matt Riddle before he came to WWE. Oh my God, what's his name?
Jordan Devlin.
No.
Santos Escobar.
No, Daniel Bryan's guy. Oh my God, Drew Gulak.
Oh yeah, Gulak. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Here's what I'm thinking, Brian H. You know who I would love to see back in TNA right now? I just gave you a hint. I said back in TNA. Who I think they would benefit from for one, the schedule, two, the buzz, and their name is still, a name. I think the Hardys.
Yeah.
I think just like Matt and Jeff Hardy, I don't want to say they look a step below from where they used to be, but I think they would just be much more benefit. I think they would get those reps in TNA. Like they will be used properly. That they will be working with young talent on a regular basis to help them look, because you watch me in AEW, they look so deflated. They don't look them like they, and Jeff Hardy's kind of been very vocal about it and deleting social media posts, and and people, of course, people are going to continue to be hesitant to give Jeff Hardy an opportunity because he just has this unfortunate history with his substance abuse and alcohol. That's substance abuse I'm referring to. I don't make something against drugs or anything, but his alcohol issues, and but like TNA is such a free platform. You know what I mean? It's not so contract binding. So the Hardys is a tag team I would love to see go back to TNA. So maybe you guys should go back there and they could use their star power. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, get some other young talent and start going from there. You seen Alex Hammerstone, showed up in TNA, getting out of his MLW contract. So hey, there's a lot of people out there that I would like to see. So like I said, TNA Wrestling on the up and up. Let's see if they can continue to keep this buzz and keep this thing rolling. There's a lot of talent out there right now, and there's a lot of talent that's not really fitting in a lot of different places. But we'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah, now it's time for our.
You think that's a good fit for Dana Brooke? Or what's she go by now? Ash.
Elegance by Ash.
By Elegance.
What do you call her? He said she's Tony Storm from Wish.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out. You sound like a perfume.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she would do that, knowing
Tony Storm from Wish.
That Tony Storm has done such a phenomenal job with this character, such a unique character, makes so much sense, and she does from what she was portrayed as in WWE as this kind of punk rock, European, type, to what she is now. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. She's doing an excellent job with it, and I'm like, yo, why wouldn't they just? Why would she show up for
Wendy Richter? That thing is hilarious.
Yeah, like why would you do anything even remotely close to that? But honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. I think she'll benefit from it. Honestly, Dana Brooke will definitely benefit from that because Brian Myers always calls TNA the island of misfit toys. It's not like Dana Brooke was bad. It's just that compared to her cohorts, who she was around, it was tough for her to get opportunities for her to really make a name for herself. And you know what I mean? So it was never a knock against it. Just that's just the level of competition that she was around every day. But her experience in a TNA locker room is just invaluable. I don't know how it's going to work with this Ash by Elegance, gimmick. But like I say, it's why not? It's something, try something new. We'll see where it goes. So
give Dana a chance. I mean, Ash by Elegance a chance.
Yeah, why not? Give her a chance. Like I said, it's like I said, it's not like she's not talented. I mean, goodness, like she wouldn't have been in WWE.
She checks all the boxes. She checks all the boxes.
She wouldn't have been over there all that time if she would, like, especially as a women's wrestler. Like she's that good. It's just like I said, just there was no connection for her in the audience after a while. There was nothing that grabbed people outside of her initial fans, and people still asked for her. People still clamored for her. So shout out to Dana Brooke. Shout out to Ash.
I would just want her to show up as Dana Brooke and actually show her character, like when Emma left the first time. Remember, she went out, became Tennille Dashwood. It was like, this is what we needed in WWE. That's what I wanted for Dana, not a whole total shift of a character, because remember, Tennille Dashwood's best work was in ROH. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, why couldn't we have that? We got robbed, like in WWE, of that. You know what I mean? So then it's like, come on, she's got everything there. But
we are heading into one of our next segments. It's called Good for Business, Bad for Business. Sponsored by no one just yet. But if you would like to sponsor Good for Business, Bad for Business, please reach out to us at wrestlingwrealm@gmail.com, and we will give you more further rates, prices, and details on how to do so. But each week we do something called Good for Business, Bad for Business, where we take a particular topic, a particular subject, or maybe a theory, and we discuss, is this good for business or is this bad for business? Now, something kind of happened on this past week of Monday Night Raw, and this is where we usually start to get an idea of what's going to happen as we kind of make our way into this year's Royal Rumble in 2024. But I'd be remiss if I didn't feel like the WWE didn't already give away the main event that the fans kind of already want. So it's like when you look at the Women's Royal Rumble, they kind of set it up for us to want one thing, and we're not sure if we're going to get it. But I'm not sure if it was on purpose, but guess what? We are going to discuss it. So this week's Good for Business, Bad for Business is this gentleman. Bam. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Is this the match that we need at WrestleMania? Becky Lynch came out there. She cut a very passionate promo as Rhea Ripley decided to address her division, as she says. And all I can say is by the time their exchange was finished, the WWE made up in my mind for me what I wanted to see at WrestleMania. And I'm like, well, shoot, I think I might be a little bit disappointed if Becky Lynch doesn't win the Royal Rumble. They subconsciously put me in place and told me who I'm supposed to go for this year at the Rumble. Is this good for business or bad for business? Brother Guy, talk to the people. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. Good for business, bad for business?
Great for business.
Oh, wow. You guys have high praise for these segments.
And I'm saying great because you can't go wrong with the man and mommy. It writes itself. And I think they're going to, well, they kind of kept them away from each other for so long because it's going to build up to this, all right, here we go type of match. Because we've seen a lot of other combinations. Yeah, Charlotte is in there, but we don't want to see Charlotte and Rhea again. We don't want to see Charlotte and Becky again. You know, that's a give it to me later on with a different stake. I don't know if Becky wins the Rumble to get to her that way, but I think Becky will get to her in that way. Maybe Elimination Chamber or, you know, because Becky has a way of still finding a way to get what she wants. That's been part of the main character. So that's going to be a match at WrestleMania. I know that we needed it. They just threw it in my face and said, you're getting it now. So I was like, okay, I'm sold.
That's what I felt. I said, wait a minute. Now I can't look at the Rumble unbiasedly. You kind of told me what I'm supposed to want.
But that's what I'm saying. I can look at it. I can look at it with a bias because Becky always, think about it, the man always finds a way to get what she wants, and she will be the next world champion. She's going to dethrone mommy one way or the other. She's going to get, that's going to be a match at WrestleMania. Now, does it kick off night 1 or night 2? I think that's definitely work for kickoff because I would love to see them to main event of Mania because Rhea got so close, but situation caused her not to main event, which I get, you know, the bigger storyline took over, which is great. But a kickoff, I think that's worthy of a night 1 or night 2 kickoff. And imagine she kicks it off, wins the title, her husband main events night 1, and keeps the title. We've done it before with that Universal title on Raw Women, but it was during a different cheesier era, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
There you go. Brother Guy, once again, changing people's minds and people's opinion. Brian H., we got to acknowledge some of these people, like the comments are rolling in. Brian H., is this good for business, bad for business? Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title at WrestleMania? Is this what we want?
See, I'm not, promise you, I'm not being just genuine. Because I really want to say I really want to pick a bad for business, but y'all be picking these good titles. But in this sense, I'm gonna make an argument why it's bad for business. Just real quick. You know that saying I hate in professional wrestling?
Which one? Never say never?
She don't need the title.
Yes.
Okay.
Becky don't need the title. I feel dirty saying it.
No, she needs these. Think about it. She needs the world title and the women's undisputed WWE championship, whatever it's called. He held those two.
Let me ask you this, Brian
I
H.
understand where you're coming from.
Is this a cash grab, Brian H, for the lineage of that? Because that's a new title lineage. I don't think we've had this before. This is brand new, right?
God dang it. I just remembered something.
Okay,
Becky,
what do you remember?
Need the title. I can't even say it's bad for business right now.
Wow, that's the quickest double term. That was quicker than Brian H, than brother Brandon and Hughes.
It just hit me, bro. It just hit me.
Why does she need it?
Becky got books to sell.
Yep.
Oh shoot.
Becky bought.
And remember, isn't she in the Marvel movie, or she was trying to be in the Marvel movie?
No, that makes sense.
Where the heck you go?
He disappeared, bro.
He did. He definitely did.
He put invisible lotion on, and you can't see him.
I hate both.
John Cena's on the show, everybody. You can't see him.
But yeah, Becky don't need the title. I mean, Becky needs it now because the promotional stuff. I mean, Mick Foley said the most important book in like professional wrestling. So yeah, in a high profile spot, you're trying to sell books. This is good. And you gotta remember what Mick Foley's book did open the doors for so many others.
Yes, it
Rock,
did. Yep.
Austin, Hogan, Jericho, so many people, Kurt Angle, and then we have books out, but not. I feel like it's a new wave about to come. Like Drew McIntyre wrote a book a couple years ago. I still haven't read it yet.
Was this his transition book, like the Galloway book?
No, it's after he came back.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's after he came back. And Becky, she's actually recording the audio stuff now as we speak.
She's loading up
with her voice.
Yeah, right.
She said something important. It's her book, her voice.
Yeah, so I'm really. It dawned on me, and I was shout out to Queen P. I was watching Wrestling Meets Pop Culture, and I was like, I thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, Becky do got a book coming out, and when this book, like when you in these type of spots last year, right? So, Bianca Montez was on Wednesday Worldwide, and one of the things we talked about was the reality series, 11 WWE, and you're gonna get an inside look at everything. And one of the things they told us is the main thing is it's doing the road to WrestleMania. So I was like that, and I kind of knew that. Like you got,
are you pulling us in like the Total Divas was with the Bellas?
Bingo.
Okay, I knew it.
Yep. Reality series, February 2nd on Hulu. It's gonna be on Friday nights. So
is Kevin Dunn still executive producing this one? I'm just asking. Sorry.
Is it after SmackDown? It's going to come out after SmackDown airs.
It might
SmackDown will be the lead into it.
You know what? That might be happening because they were saying, like, we asked them how they was gonna watch it, and they said, well, we'll be at SmackDown. That's what, and but they said the first episode it's just gonna be them two, and then they'll receive all the text messages probably from their parents telling them. And I was like, Bianca was champion last year, and like I said, knowing that was kind of coming, I figured I was like, they probably got cameras around because leading up the road to WrestleMania, especially Bianca's entrance last year. So I'm thinking, obviously the book is done, but remember when Sable was women's champion, they was pushing them Playboy magazines like doing.
I think China was the same thing.
Yep,
I was getting ready to go there. Yep, China, WrestleMania 17, Sable and Tori, WrestleMania 20.
True,
I believe Christy Hemme. So and even Maria, Candice Michelle, like anytime they're doing stuff like this, you gotta have them in high profile matches. So yeah, this is great for business because win, lose, or draw, it's a win-win. I think because of the long, God dang, that's a long title reign. I think Rhea holds on to it though. I mean, I think Becky beats her. I'm sorry, I think Becky beats her because Becky won at WrestleMania once as far as winning the championship. This is another opportunity for her to get a second WrestleMania title win.
No, that's like all excellent points at the end of the day, and that was, like I said, that was got to be the fastest double turn since that fateful night that Brian
Bro,
is
I was
supposed to
sitting
be
there
there.
December 21st.
Yeah, that was quick.
Right.
Brian, I don't want to say bad. He said, "Up, nope, can't even do it."
I was sitting there, when I saw the rundown, I said, "Yeah, this ain't gonna be good because Becky don't need to be in the title picture, and she don't
ready.
need to be." I was about to be a mark, yo. I was gonna be, I was gonna be a
mark.
JD from New York, yo. I was gonna be yelling in the microphone talking about Becky don't need the belt, but I couldn't do it.
JD, man, why? Does he really
This is
talk
a
like that?
show, the Superior Wrestling Intellect, and I
There
had
you
to
go.
bring my
We operate
intellect.
on a different wavelength. Superior wrestling, like Brother Hugh. Becky Lynch
Dylan has a
versus
question. My fault. Dylan has a question.
Sure. If Becky gets Mommy at Mania, then who gets Mommy at Perth? Is it guaranteed that she's going to have a match in the Elimination Chamber?
Who?
She has to.
She headlining, bro.
She's at home.
That's the reason why Roman not gonna be there.
Oh, I'm tripping.
Absolutely.
That was a dumb question. That's the dumbest thing I've said on this. Yo,
no, it's a freeze.
It's gonna be her and what you call it. What if she's in the Elimination Chamber?
Her and Emma. So I'm sorry.
No, what I'm saying, what if she's in the Elimination?
I was about to say, yeah,
what
that
if she's in the Elimination Chamber?
And she wins
to keep her title, and then nobody can beat me, and
I think that'll be like the challenge. Like I think it'll load up to make her look strong going into Mania by like surviving the Elimination Chamber.
That's true.
Now, do you say somebody like Nia for her later on?
Yeah, why not?
Would you do it, or would you pull the trigger right now? At Perth?
I think you pull the trigger as Nia to at least be a threat. It's because as long as you have threats around, it kind of keeps us going because you're like, oh, wait a minute, this could happen. Oh, wait a minute, that could happen too. Versus it's in stone Becky, Rhea, and we got to wait to WrestleMania. There's got to be another threat. I think that's kind of the thing of Elimination Chamber, even in the men's bracket. Like we look at stuff like, wait a minute, in our minds, we kind of have what the main events will be, but then that event happens and you have 6 men in the ring and you're like, wait a minute, this could all change tonight. So that's actually a good question.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's what happened with the Bray Wyatt year. Remember when he took it from Cena?
Yep.
It changed the whole wrestling. He was like, wait a minute, he just beats it. It was like, wait a minute. And it was like, oh, Bray Wyatt's the champion. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, him and Randy at Mania, okay. So it's. But see, the comment, go ahead, Bray. You probably gonna say the same thing I was gonna say.
I was gonna say,
but how would you introduce it though?
That's I think
put it in the chamber.
In a first match.
That's
rough.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of.
Yeah. I think. I mean, she night after Mania, Mania, a Raw after Mania intro.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
That's how they say.
I think the Rumble. Only reason I say the Rumble.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying the Rumble because that's how Triple H has been doing it. He's been giving us previews for the rest of the year,
especially with the women. He did that last year.
Because you still don't know which brand she belongs to, so she has to stand down with different women. She square off with different women. Yeah, you're like, hold on.
Dungeon right now. That's what brand she belongs to.
Look, she go to Raw, SmackDown, or NXT because that's still a question.
Look, they got what they call it, the forbidden door at the dungeon right now.
Oh yeah, it's doors. The doors are open. You know, I talk about the church. They said the doors are open.
I wonder. Yeah. Did they do that when like Brett and Owen was like in different companies, like WCW did? Because obviously there's no cameras back then. So did a lot of those wrestlers go train together in Canada?
They did.
I mean, it's got to be because think about it. They're in the gyms together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ricky Starks and Angelo Dawkins was together, right?
You had them working, them locking up. You had a couple indie people too, and that joint felt like an invite. Like I remember one time, Dwayne, when we was riding over West Baltimore for something, and you brought up the I asked you about the Clover Court. Is that Cloverfield? Those courts over there? Cloverdale. And I was like, yo, you ever play over there? He was like, yeah, but you gotta, like, I can't go in those courts. You gotta be invited. Like,
no, yeah,
and that's how
those are serious runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the dome.
Oh, see.
Yeah, same thing. That like Cloverdale was for over West, just like the dome was for over East. Same thing. Like
the only way I'm going in there is with a camera.
Yeah, that's actually a good point though. But
and that's how I feel like those dungeon workouts are. Like you got to be invited to them joints.
Yeah, like, hey, listen, come train. Because Stu used to do the same thing though. Like if
Yeah.
somebody was a big dog in the area, they say Stu would say, hey, come train with us, see what you got, and he would stretch him and do all kinds of stuff. And
Yo, you imagine being a Hart and you see somebody coming, you like, daddy about to go. Stu, because they didn't call him dad, they call him Stu. Come another Stu victim. They don't know what they got coming to them.
I enjoyed I don't know if you guys watch it, but Undertaker has like a podcast type thing, and there's a clip of him talking about Stu Hart and trying to see if he worked in Canadian Stampede before he got signed full time to WCW, I believe. But
I'm a little salty about the Undertaker's podcast. I'll tell you off the air.
Oh boy, Realm After Dark. Here we go. Real quick, Brother Hugh. Good for business, bad for business. Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the women's world title. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We still got to get to the main event of the show of who's going to win the Royal Rumble this year. But like I said, as far as the ladies
Vince McMahon on.
I know, right? Brother Hugh, good for business, bad for business.
We're gonna keep it short and sweet. It's good for business for all of the reasons that Brandon and Brian said. It's great promotion. It's been wanted for a long time. What bigger match can you have at WrestleMania?
At WrestleMania,
like, who else is there? Who else is there for Mommy to take on besides
like that's ready right now?
To be honest, yeah.
That's on Raw.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's on Raw. Yeah, that's on Raw.
No, it's.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, listen, I definitely agree with that. The Women's Royal Rumble is going to shape up. So tell us in the comments if you guys think that Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch is good for business or bad for business. We're going to move on. And
my bad, real quick. I definitely don't think Becky's going to win the Rumble, though.
Why is that?
Bayley's going to win the Rumble because I feel like her having the briefcase, it just makes more sense in the storyline.
Oh, okay.
With the turmoil that's going on in Damage Control.
Damage Control, yeah.
Yeah, so it just makes more sense. Bayley's like, oh, okay, look, the plan is already set in stone. Look, you get the briefcase, you go after Rhea. So then, with all of the shenanigans going on with Damage Control and Bayley, eventually she go ahead and she turns in on EO, and there's her WrestleMania.
Well, there you go. That's a good tidbit. Brother Hugh doesn't believe that Becky's even going to win the Rumble, but this match will be made outside of the Rumble because of another winner. So
it sounds like something that somebody else said earlier. He just took that idea. Good job, you.
Yeah, you welcome.
Wow, there it is. So yeah, good for business, bad for business. We will see how this unfolds. Like I said, we're just a few weeks outside of the Royal Rumble as of this recording, and this is going to be very exciting. But we're looking forward to seeing what if Becky Lynch can pull off what she's considering the impossible. She has to prove to herself that she still is indeed the man, despite all the success that Rhea Ripley is having right now. But speaking of Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch's husband had quite the challenge this past Monday night on Raw. We're about to get to the main event of our show because we need to figure out who the heck's going to win the goddamn Rumble. But as we take a closer step to the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins took on the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Here's what I'll say about this, and this is what threw me off is Triple H is very purposeful. We know that by now. And Triple H has gone out of his way to reestablish Jinder Mahal as a main event player 5, 6, 7 years after his initial title run. And he hasn't really gotten back to that form since. And this past week, even with the controversy we talked about with Tony Khan kind of making a comment towards him, they're just kind of watching the fans come to his aid and support Jinder Mahal, whether you like this run or not, because it seems to be split down the middle. But the presentation of Jinder Mahal taking on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, they made it feel like a big match feel this past Monday on Raw, and I really, really enjoyed it. I was blown away by it. I said, man, they really, like, I was waiting for some type of shenanigans. It was just straightforward promotion, straightforward comments. Jinder Mahal wasn't joking. He had me thinking that he actually had a shot. And then he shows up with Indus. They look good. I was like, yo, they mean business, and I'm taking this guy seriously. He's back in this. He's a main event threat. You always want to create these threats for your champions because eventually you got to say to yourself, who's next? And as long as you have these guys kind of on deck, you can always drag and drop, and you can have a World Heavyweight Championship match on Raw, and it made it seem like it was a big deal. But did this match live up to the hype for you good brothers?
I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot. It poured me in, and again, I was like you thinking, wait a minute, they might pull the trigger here. I wanted them to. When I tell you, like, I was like, oh, come on, man. I wanted him to win. I didn't want him to win clean. I don't care about the lineage of that as far as like the length of the title reign. So I'm like, well, it could have been a flip flop, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But the match was, like I said, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought what I did love was not only, like you said, everybody coming to his defense, like even the way Seth Rollins built him up, it was old school. He made Jinder feel like somebody who had been competing for world titles since he's lost the title. And that's what when I heard that promo, I was like, whoa. I said, see, this is why you don't start stuff you can't finish. You cannot win a war with the click. Because they going, I mean, we saw that with his brother Brandon said, the NXT WrestleMania, we saw that then. And I bet you there was instructions. Make everybody, we're gonna rally around Jinder Mahal and we're gonna make him seem like $1 million and they'll never mess with us again.
And it didn't take long for them to do it. It took a week and a half. Brother Hugh, was this worth it? Would this match live up to the hype? Did they restore Jinder Mahal back to his championship glory?
it did his job.
He chuckled.
It did
Brother
his
Hugh
job.
chuckled.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, it did his job for sure. I didn't want to see a one-on-one match, like straight up one-on-one match with no interference or whatnot, because I didn't think the match was going to be what it was supposed to be. It wasn't going to live up to its hype. It made sense to have the distractions to make it more believable. I was hoping that they pulled the trigger also, because Jinder is my man. But overall, yeah, I mean, I hope Seth is okay. First of all, what's the update on him and his injury?
See, I don't even know if it's even storyline or if it's real or not. So I don't know what to believe. I can't trust Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Exactly. That's the thing right there too. But if it is true, man, I don't even know for real. Either way, I feel like it's going to be CM Punk Rollins at WrestleMania, so we're gonna get that. So we knew Jinder was gonna lose, but I wanted them to pull the trigger. It lived up. It did what it's supposed to do for that night. They rode the wave on out. Hopefully, there's something in store for Jinder coming up. I don't know what's next. Maybe they continue this on until Elimination Chamber or whatnot. I don't know. But hopefully he maintains on his hot streak and he just continue to be on television, because I missed him. He's been gone for a while and he hasn't really been doing anything. Great look. He's a great heel, one of the better heels in the company right now, in the industry right now. Why not? Throw him on the screen. Let him show off.
Brother Brandon, he got an offer from Nick Aldis. He said, look, man, you've been overlooked on Raw for a while now. You're underappreciated, but we would love to have you on SmackDown. You think there's a brother, you mentioned what's next for Jinder Mahal since he, had to reestablish himself as a major player. Do you see him maybe making the jump to SmackDown and challenging someone like Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship along with Indy Sheer? Is that something you think that may be in the cards for Jinder Mahal going into the future?
No, because you got AOP on SmackDown, so leave them on Raw.
Why? What's the quota? There's a quota?
It's the same team.
No. Yeah, I was going to say it's the same.
Because AOP's not going to wrestle. They're just muscle.
Right. And in the share, how many times can somebody yell and you talk about, oh, look how massive they are? I'm like,
they're a tag team, though. Like, they were rolled at one point before Vince messed it up.
Well, I hope they get back to rolling because, how many times it's going to be, oh, look at me. I'm a big meaty man slapping meat. Roar. I'm a flex.
They looked good on Monday. They looked like they were serious.
Well, that's what I'm saying. On Monday, I was like,
uh-oh. Why are they making those noises, though?
Because that's what they do in the ring. Steph, on Monday, I thought was going to lose. and then we was going to get cash in. In the Vince McMahon era, that's probably what would have happened. But yeah, I think that he stays on Raw because we need contenders for that title. We need contenders, and when I say contenders, he'd have mixed up the pot so much between Drew, CM Punk, now Jinder,
Don't forget
Shinsuke.
Damien's teasing.
Yeah, Damian Priest. You still got Finn that you can insert anytime because remember, Finn was inserted well before the tag team became a thing.
True.
You still got Miz that can't touch the Intercontinental title. We got Gunther. We got all these people that can be inserted, and it's a healthy mix for the world title. And I think Jinder stays towards the forefront. But how do you keep him in the forefront post Mania? Because I don't know if his push is going to be enough for Mania, but it'll definitely be good for these filler PLEs.
Have him beef
and that's what you need.
I
don't think he gets a beef with him yet because
he's a former WWE champion. You don't think he can go to?
He's a former United States champion too.
You say who?
He's a former United States champion too.
Right, but there's no other contenders for him, so you got to go with a former world title contender.
It is. He's coming back.
He's coming back at the Rumble.
He's coming back at Rumble for him to fight at Mania.
Right.
Since the plans got derailed by CM Punk, so you got to do something with Gunther.
Okay, we'll see. Let's.
The question is, what's going on with Drew? What's his WrestleMania plans?
Let's get into that now. Drew McIntyre has been on one last couple of weeks, Brother Hugh. I don't know why he's been getting ether on the mic though. CM Punk burnt him up one week. Cody Rhodes burnt him up another week. I'm like, listen, he's running out of clapbacks. He's just going to get mad, start hurting people. That's how I feel.
Shinsuke going to spit in his face in a second. Shinsuke going to miss him and shut him up.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Like it's getting ugly. Drew McIntyre's not letting this go at all. But I'm glad that they're keeping him around because he's once again. He's a relevant contender. He's a threat, no matter what you say about him. That's the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon when it comes to booking talent. This is how you keep your talent happy and in the main event conversation. Is because I've always been someone that says that you should have your champion, but you should have multiple threats. So at any point in time, you can weave in and out of storylines and feuds without having to rebuild somebody up. Because Austin said it himself. He said, "Man, I blame." It's when Stone Cold Steve Austin retired. And he said he blamed WWE for not building somebody else up for me to continue to have feuds with. After a while, people just cheered for me and my run was over. And I was like, you're right. It's because back in those days, they hitched during those times financially for the WWE, they kind of hitched their wagon to Austin. They hitched it to Rock. And it's either one or the other. Right. And then you had Triple H, Mick Foley, Undertaker, Kane. You know what I mean? Eventually Big Show, Jericho, Eddie, so on and so forth. But it's like, up to that point, you didn't build anybody up to say, okay, this is the next big feud because you were just riding that one wagon. So that's why Vince always was a thing. Like, I'll never just push one guy ever again the same way I did with the Hogans, the Andres, Brett, Shawn, Austin, Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Foley, whatever. So having Drew McIntyre always, like, he's been everywhere. He's beefing with everybody. He's had issues with CM Punk. He's had issues with Cody Rhodes. He's got issues with Damian Priest. He's got issues with Seth Rollins. He's not letting this go at all. I'm like, dude, either he's going to self-destruct or he's going to disrupt something, brother. What are you thinking? Because you brought it up, brother. You said, what's going on with Drew? I don't know, and I'm nervous. I feel like he's about to do. He's everywhere, and I'm like, he's going to end up doing something insane. What are you guys thinking?
To be honest, I mean, Triple H is keeping me on my toes. So I don't even know. I legitimately don't have anything for him right now. I was thinking Priest at one point, but it looks like they're getting ready to. They're teasing that right now, so I don't even think that's going to make it to WrestleMania. I have no idea. I have no idea at all.
Brother Brandon, you guys always changing people's minds when you guys come up with your, you guys are storytellers. So, what do you guys think is going on with Drew McIntyre? And I'm glad, brother, he brought him up, is because he is a threat going into this Royal Rumble matchup. He is one of the guys that we have to talk about when we talk about who is going to win the Royal Rumble. Like, he's in the mix. But what do you guys think is going on with Drew? Where does he stand right now? He's been losing a lot, but I feel like he's also losing his mind. Things are about to get ugly. Brian H., what do you got for us?
The person is next to on the poster.
To the left or to the right? Bianca or Sammy?
Sammy's. Now, granted, I'm fishing. I'm
Forgot all
fishing.
about Sammy.
What do you do with him? But then I'm thinking about, okay, as I looked, I was like, wait, what's Sami Zayn gonna do? And I feel like he's Sami Zayn got to get, he gonna get that.
He's got to beat Gunther.
Oh, dude.
Yep, he's ready.
See, I got Gunther losing at the Chamber. That's the way I'm pencil booking.
Do you think they'll have a IC title match for the Chamber?
Well, he can't even make it to Chamber, right?
That's what. That's why I said. Because remember, I said that this is going to be Jay and Jimmy for the IC title because it's the title that Daddy held. That's going to add the stake for them to be a Mania match.
And think about it, Roman, go get that belt from him because
you gonna let your brother have the belt. You gonna let your brother do that?
He don't fall in line. He don't get. See, if he got that title,
what Rikishi think about him? I guess he is.
Then he can sit at the other end of the table.
Ooh.
And see, he can manipulate Jimmy. No, see, I'm at the head of the table, but you sit at the other end. But he has that time. I don't want him sitting at the other end. Now, look, Solo's the heir, but you get to sit at the other end of the table.
Yeah, he's up next.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing. That's gonna be the match.
And that's how you keep Gunther protected. He don't get pinned. Well, if you do in the Chamber, I guess he do got to get pinned or something, or you jump him out.
Give.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can do a multi-man match where he doesn't get pinned because remember you got all those contenders for it. Yeah. You can throw a Chad Gable in there. You can throw an Ivar in there, and somebody else take the pin.
Yeah, Xavier Woods, Because I was just about to ask you, like, who the heck else would you put in that match? But I was like, oh yeah, now you just named a few. And Gunther is such an established presence. Whoever's in that match is already going to be put over because it's like, oh shoot, you're worthy to take on Gunther, especially in the space that he's in. So that's a big deal. Though.
Honestly, Jay is worthy to pin Gunther.
Yeah, no doubt. Like
he's a main eventer.
Oh, he's gonna pin him. What if it's a handicap match with Imperial? And he pins one of the other one, that causes the implosion.
Oh, I feel bad because I'm already seeing my boy. Yeah, if I'm seeing my boy,
look how he's standing. But look how he's standing up for him, right?
Yeah.
What you call it? Ludwig Kaiser walked right away. Was like, nope, not messing with you.
Brandon, you're an uncle. You ever seen a time where like your niece or nephews did something wrong and you didn't want to tell their parents because you knew they was gonna get it? See, God rest his soul, as literally bringing in the exact time my Uncle Mike transitioned, literally around this time, right? Money Mike could get mad, tell the story in the air, but he used to do stuff, and Uncle Mike would get on him, and it would be times where my mother would be like, "Nah, I don't even want to say nothing because your father gonna get you." That's how I feel about if Da Vinci Ludwig Kaiser loses the Intercontinental title on behalf. Gunther is going to rip him apart and tear him a new one.
Yeah, it's not gonna be no more Imperium.
You see how he used to? You see how he had to jump him in? He was chopping.
He used to chop him after. But I'm just saying, what if you do that? You know, you want a title shot, you got to fight Imperium versus, and you know, what if Jimmy interference caused him to win?
He could do that though.
He could do that. His interference caused him to win.
Because remember, the last time he cost him the title was because he didn't want him to end up like Roman. But now he could do that because he want him to have the title so he could take it from him. He's like, I want to get you so high, and then I snatch you off the mountaintop.
Yep, I'm saying it has to be the IC. It has to be the IC title in that match because then that's how you bring Rikishi in finally. Because his boys are fighting for the title.
I mean, he's trying to get in.
Yeah, I think it's the title that their father held. And what better way to draw you into a storyline again this year? The Yeet versus no Yeet. Red versus
Open
blue.
up a night too.
Yeah, that might shut it down. But with all that being said, what the heck, bro? Like, you guys just made things even worse. Who the heck is going to win the goddamn Royal Rumble? Like, this is, you just guys, once again, you gave me a scenario that I was like, oh, shoot, because Gunther has already come to television. He's made his intentions very clear. I plan to go into the Rumble. I'm the longest person to last in the Rumble. I plan on winning. So, like, this is the $1 million question. This is what everyone came to figure out. This is what everybody's tuning in. Who is going to win the Royal Rumble? The reason this is a subject on the show and why it's the main event of tonight's show is for weeks, we've had almost 5 different people come out and make their intentions very clear. Usually it's 1, usually it's 2. But 5, Cody came out. He's been saying it forever. Drew came out. He's made it very clear. Freaking CM Punk has made it clear. And they're kind of taking cross shots at each other on the show. You know, AJ Styles, he hasn't really said anything necessarily indicating he's going to but he's made it clear. I want my hands on Roman Reigns. How else is he going to get to him?
Being Jack.
Right.
We still got Randy there too.
We got Randy Orton, who's just come back looking as jacked as ever, who's made it clear. No, I want my hands on Randy Orton. So you have LA Knight that makes it very clear. No, I want my hands on Randy Orton. I mean on Roman Reigns. So it's like, okay, if these guys don't win this match at the Royal Rumble, there's going to be a ton of superstars that are trying to get in the mix that want to get their hands in one of these main event spots. There's 2 main event spots. We have for the World Heavyweight Championship, we have the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. Who the heck wins the Royal Rumble? We gotta get to the bottom of this. This is what we came here for. This is what the whole point of tonight's show is. We have to figure this the heck out. Who freaking wins the Royal Rumble? Now don't get stuck now.
No. Which one? The men's. Which one we talking about first? The men's or the women?
We're gonna talk about the men. The women is kind of, I don't want to say it's obvious, but we kind of the way it was set up last year, you know, you're gonna see a lot of fresh faces, a lot of new you know what I mean? So it's like when you look at the main event players, we came down to the women, we said, look, it's either gonna be Bayley or another situation. It might be Becky Lynch. You know, and of course there's other people that we'll talk about. We'll get into that probably a little bit more during a preview show, but the men, they're selling us something on purpose, and I'm trying to figure out what it is they're selling. Who is going to win this year's Royal Rumble? Brian H is not picking anybody that's worthy of beating Roman Reigns.
Nope.
So,
including the guy I'm looking at on my television right now, that's what's going to Royal Rumble.
So is it?
This is an
Cody?
incredible match.
Is it Cody? What match is it again?
I'm watching Royal Rumble '98. You remember the singles match for the Intercontinental title?
Favorite. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, The Rock.
Okay. So who? You got The Rock. The Rock is back. What the heck? What did The Rock decide? That's his way to get to the tribal chief.
I mean, would you pop?
If The Rock shows up at the Royal Rumble, you think people are not going to consider him the automatic favorite?
Yeah. I mean, if you bring him in as a surprise.
That's what I'm saying, though. Think about it. So think about it. Let's fast forward a week. Excuse me, I hit the mic. Let's fast forward a week. We skip a week. Royal Rumble preview show. We all pick people. I say CM Punk. Brian H says Cody Rhodes. The guy says Drew McIntyre, and Brother Hugh says
Nick Nemeth.
Yeah, Nick Nemeth.
Kane.
Right.
He says Kane.
He says Randy Orton. Right. So we all picked 4 different individuals to win the Rumble. We stated our cases. We made it clear. And then all of a sudden The Rock comes out. Now what does that do to our picks? It's because how does he not become the automatic favorite going into the Rumble, even if we've already picked guys individually and we have our reasons as to why we chose them? Who the heck wins the Royal Rumble this year? Brother Guy, talk to the people. Who wins the Royal Rumble? I'm putting everybody in the spot. We got to figure this out. It can't be everybody. What do you say, Brian H?
I said, put me down for The Rock. I'm going all in.
Okay. Brian H is going all in with The Rock. Brother Hugh, who are you going all in with? Who wins the Royal Rumble this year?
I hate to say it, but I feel like everybody wants CM Punk to win it.
What about you? Who do you want to win?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
See, I told you we got to get to the bottom of this.
Hey, yeah, you're right. It's too much going on. But let's say,
hold on, hold that thought.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Brother Guy, who wins the Royal Rumble? Who made it against WrestleMania?
I CM Punk.
Okay, your favorite wrestler. That's cool.
That's going because it's going to lead you to the controversy of how does Cody finish the story and who does he choose? That's more TV worthy out of everybody minus The Rock. Think about it. Him bouncing back on SmackDown. Him going to Raw. You know how they used to do back in the day? They didn't automatically announce it. They showed up on every show. I mean, I think that if we weren't in a position like we were now, I would honestly say you go with an NXT wrestler because that would be the biggest way to push somebody like. And I'm just giving like the hottest people right now: a Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya, somebody. But because we have all of this superstar power, not to say they're not superstars, but it's got to be. They not even mentioning it. It's for the NXT chat. They can pick that this year. You know, they didn't put it in our face. It's going to be the world title or the Universal. So I would have to say it's going to be Punk because he's going to be the most newsworthy to say what title he's going to pick, and he's probably not going to pick till after Elimination Chamber.
Brother Hugh, who's going to win the Royal Rumble this year?
I already said Punk is going to win it. That's the only choice I can think of overall.
Okay. So you guys not giving Cody Rhodes a chance?
No, I mean he does it at Chamber. I think he does it at the Chamber.
So you think it's going to come afterwards?
Because think about it, he keeps parading about he has pull. He was showing up on Smack. He's planted this dusk in our head that Cody can do whatever he wants. And he's going to figure out a way to get back to SmackDown. And I hate to say it, him and Nick Aldis got history that Triple H ain't going to not let us remember.
Yeah, you know it.
And you know what I'm talking about. Who did Nick Aldis lose that title to? And then he gave it back to him. You know, I respect you. I understand everything that you did. We got a rich history. So everybody can go back and look and say, oh, wait a minute. What is he talking about? Triple H ain't going to play. He's not going to play wrestling fans like they're stupid. He's going to play that into the storyline.
So he's just not going to. What if Brock Lesnar comes back? What does that factor in anything?
Brock Lesnar has to stare down and eliminates all the people that you know aren't going to win so he can look like a monster and kill Kane record for the most elimination. Gunther comes in, chops him out of the ring, that's him in Gunther match.
I think that's Roman Reigns right now, isn't it?
Yeah, is it Roman? It's Roman.
Oh, it's Roman's. The most
people. Yeah. Oh, Roman has. Oh, yeah, he did break Kane's.
Yeah, but we didn't like him.
But yeah, they started that storyline a year or two ago.
That was Big Dog with the blue vest.
Yeah. Oh.
So
to line them up. Was that the year AJ came?
Yes,
was it that year? I thought
was it that year?
No, it was the year before Blue T.
Oh, it was before that. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the year we wanted Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be Daniel Bryan at number 30, and Ray got booed.
Yeah, that's when Ray left. He got out there.
Send him home then. Yeah. But then we wouldn't have got Dominic. So.
But did you know Dominic was in Lucha Underground? I don't remember him there.
I don't either.
He was, and they showed a clip. He was in Lucha Underground. And he was, of course, helping his father. He was just helping his father. He didn't. I don't think he wrestled because the clip I saw, he was helping him against Johnny, Impact, Nitro, Wrestling, Mundo, Superstar. Whatever you want to call him.
Trash can.
Wow. That was your guy.
I know. You're the reason. I have not forgiven him for that. He made me.
You said I'm the reason. He should be the reason.
He is. But that's the point. Look. Y'all say the Marty Jannetty of a tag team. I say the Johnny Mundo of a tag team.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh, ouch. That hurt.
I mean, look at the Miz.
Stung a little bit.
That was all disrespect.
Yeah. I kind of got those vibes. But
look, Marty's fault. He couldn't get out of his own way, but he was at least talented.
Marty was his
Johnny talented. I ain't gonna say take that from him.
But no, Marty Jannetty just couldn't get out of his own way.
What if it's Drew versus Gunther? I mean, Drew versus Brock in a grudge match.
Oh my God!
Brock never got his win back.
I think I kind of want to see that more than I want to see him versus Gunther. Now that you said that,
I
think I want to see that more. I think I want to see that more. He did.
I'm not excusing Drew McIntyre, and I'm not excusing Cody Rhodes just yet. Is because.
Dang, I want to see that now. Thanks, Brian.
Wait, did you say what I think you just said? Drew versus Cody?
You said who?
Drew versus Cody?
No, he was just saying their names.
No, what I said, I'm not like people are like just assuming that Cody didn't have a chance because of he won and he lost. It didn't work out. No one wants to see this again.
That's the match I want to see.
And people are saying like, oh, well, Drew's not going to win because he had his chance. It's not his fault, but pandemic, he had to carry the burden. You know, he still wants his opportunity to have a legitimate run. It's like, well, he might not get it now. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not excusing them. Like, I'm still expecting Cody to find a way to win this thing. But honestly, it's tough to say.
Who does your pick? No, you got to pick. Nope, you want to put us on the spot.
No,
Who do you pick?
let me tell you why I got to make my decision. This is what I'm struggling with, right? So, like, I'm not so sure that CM Punk comes back in there because, like, why would you just have a veteran come back and just win and hog a spotlight when you usually use the Rumble as a way to either further a story along or create a new star, right? Or put somebody in that conversation of, hey, this person is up next. This person has earned it. We saw Gunther, kind of survive as long as he did. And he still got tossed over, but he became a star in that match simply because of what he did. You know what I mean? Like Triple H does these things in the room, but he's the first one like, we're not just going to put on a show. True. We're going to let these things further these conversations as they go forward. So I'm saying to myself, at what point do we see that same thing this year, and where and what direction do we use to go there? Is this trip? Think about it. If CM Punk doesn't come back to WWE, who are we saying wins the Royal Rumble at this point?
It's Cody.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's tough to say. Like,
so
it's
now CM Punk didn't come back.
You say who?
If he didn't come back, who wins?
Yeah, like if CM Punk doesn't, they say that Punk, we're not going to go in this direction. We appreciate you. Maybe we'll do some video stuff with you later, but we don't want to bring you back full time right now. Well, let's revisit this maybe in a year or two, or in a couple of months. Who are we sitting there having this conversation about now? Because like you said, brother Brad, he said, well, CM Punk is kind of the obvious choice, which he is. But it's like, well, he's an older guy. He's not a younger talent. Everybody has stories to finish. Even Shinsuke Nakamura came in the mix and said, I have a story to finish too, bro. Like I went to Royal Rumble and lost to WrestleMania too. You think I'm going to sit back and wait my turn? Shinsuke Nakamura has already made it very clear. I'm not done with you yet, Cody. I'm going to be done with you when I need to be, but I'm going to focus my energy on the Royal Rumble. I'm like, bro, here we go again, yo. Somebody else.
They keep pushing these promos about Cody winning back-to-backs.
But they could be selling us, brother. They could just be trying to throw us off the scent because that's what Triple H and Shawn Michaels like to do. It's like I don't know what to trust anymore. I don't know if I'm supposed to trust it.
Exactly.
Like it could be really simple, but now I'm second guessing because first of all, ever since the Fiend, God rest Bray Wyatt's soul, like I'm all over the place.
He gives us what he want, what we want, but at the same time, he makes you think. He keeps you on your toes about it. You have so many different options in this, you know what I mean, in these storylines.
And I think that's the good part about it is that it's not as simple, and it keeps us having these conversations all the way up into the Rumble. So now our eyes are going to be glued, for you guys that'll be in the building. You get your focus is your attention is going to be on that ring, on that Titantron. When that music hits from 1 to 30. So yeah, man, it's tough. I'm going to go ahead and say
celebrate 40 years.
Big E about to win that joint.
I'm going to say that I do think I think Gunther wins the Royal Rumble. I don't think CM Punk made it to WrestleMania this year, to be honest with you.
Wait, what? You don't think what?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a swerve.
You don't think CM Punk?
Okay.
Main events WrestleMania this year? Nope. I don't know, man. Well, maybe sometimes I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense just to think about it. They say Mania event plans are usually made almost 6 months to a year in advance, usually, right? Mm-hmm. Things can change, obviously. CM Punk just got there, so you mean to tell me they were banking on him the entire time? That means they would have to change the entire strategy and push it whoever it is they were working towards. Gunther was up next. We know that. They've been grooming him. Right,
but you gotta go with the money.
Think
about WrestleMania 35. You think that main event was no? I could see the women's main event being set for Charlotte versus Ronda. Becky gets hurt. Now you got to do Charlotte and Ronda Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. Becky catches fire, but you promised Charlotte a spot in the main event. You want her in there so you don't have to worry about Becky and Ronda. You need. And it's Charlotte Flair. So now you just pivoted. But then again, if you go back to the WWE Championship picture, right? Who is Daniel Bryan gonna face? After the Elimination Chamber. He won the Elimination Chamber, but Kofi went over. So now it got pivoted. And that happened on the episode of SmackDown when he had a showdown with AJ Styles. So I do think
it started with the Gauntlet. Remember the Gauntlet?
That's what I mean. The Gauntlet match.
It started, but then the Elimination Chamber made them change the main event. Like it got to be Kofi now.
That's solidified. The Gauntlet
when Ali got hurt.
when you saw him look in Kofi when he got in the ring with AJ Styles, he said, "No, this is my time." I'm like, I remember thinking like, "Oh my gosh, I'm invested now." Kofi was Kofi, Thank you,
Sure. Yeah.
appreciate you. So
no. I remember at the Elimination Chamber saying Kofi about to win this belt. They about to give Kofi
this. He was the favorite. Like we were watching it. Like
I was like, he great, win this. And we remember they got on top of the cage. I said, "Oh, Kofi about to Daniel is doing this for Kofi," and then I was like,
"Yeah, it felt like it. It felt like it. I just felt like deep down inside, I was like, oh, you got it. That WrestleMania. It's at 35. It's okay. Now we have an opportunity to give somebody a championship who's never been champion at WrestleMania because now, they're so far and few between. Like when Cody does it, he'll be the next one in a long time, probably since then. True. As far as the men are concerned. So, well, Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry, I forgot about Drew.
But Drew didn't hit the same way Kofi did, though.
Yeah, but
Drew was a good feeling, but Kofi was that
was for the culture. That was different, and it proves to what you guys are saying is that, and this is what makes me like, I'm leaning towards CM Punk right now, is because they have changed plans going into WrestleMania. They have, like you said, we saw what happened with Kofi, we saw what happened with Daniel Bryan. You got to go with the hot hand, and I'm just like, man, I think CM Punk finishing his story has more money than Cody's, and plus Cody I feel like Cody still has more stories to tell.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like Dusty went 3 years. You know what I mean? He refused to win against Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen because it made them feel like Dusty's never going to win. So when he finally did beat him, it was ridiculous.
And he never had a title reign longer than 100 days. Probably longer than 80. I think I was looking it up earlier. He never had a title reign.
Wasn't? I think it was like 80. He got real close to 90. I think it was like 12. Back in them days, they could have won it on Tuesday, but they didn't recognize it till Friday or something crazy. Or they won it on Saturday, they don't recognize it till the Friday night show.
Exactly. So, man, you and again, like I said, the same thing. Cody got more stories to tell. WrestleMania 41's not booked yet. Book that bad boy in Atlanta.
Ah, shoot. God dang it. It's in Atlanta?
No, they need to. No. They haven't. They got to go back.
No, but they make the announcement at the WrestleMania press conference
right after.
It depends on the year because if you remember the year the Ravens played the Bills, I want to say that's 2020. 2020. They announced the next three when they said we got you in. It's 2021. They said we're gonna redo Tampa. We got then Hollywood, then Dallas, then Hollywood. Then the SummerSlam weekend 2022, they told us it would be in Philadelphia. Now, they still haven't announced it yet. I heard Minnesota is the rumored place. Yeah. But they got that beautiful stadium.
They got a brand new gift, so yeah.
But I'm like, Atlanta was so bad. You got to redo it. You redid Dallas for a reason.
Sure.
Atlanta right there. Put it and let Cody win it there. But Minnesota would be cool too. Minnesota would be cool too if he win it there. But Cody, he don't need to win it this year. I know 40, but let Punk have that moment. Cody can have more stories to tell. Give me Rock Roman.
Wow. No,
you don't think Punk is going to last that long?
What do you mean last?
If he doesn't make it to WrestleMania and main event it and go through that whole spill, how long does he really last? As far as being relevant,
as like what?
Just being relevant. In general.
I think he's a established player.
Machine. Yeah,
like, it doesn't matter what he does because
not working with children.
Look at the exchange with him and Drew. Like that's a main event feud already. Like as Brian said, you don't need the belt for that one. Two guys that have history is like that can main event any show.
Yeah,
but I think that's the problem with Punk. You have so many matchups, but at what point do we get somebody?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the comments. I'm sorry. I was gonna say I don't care if the match is terrible or not. I want the moment.
What was you saying, Brandon?
No, I was saying, but that's the problem with Punk. You have all these potential lineups, but are they going to deliver?
We don't know.
You know what I mean? Because let's call it what it is, right? His hottest stuff has been on the mic.
Talk about
Seth Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins is hot on the mic, and then he backs it up in the ring. Drew can be hot on the mic and back it up in the ring. Like, who knew that we wanted to see Shinsuke and Seth that many times? And each time felt good. It was like, okay, all right, it's something different.
One of the best last man standing matches I've ever seen.
But you get what I'm saying? So when it comes to Punk, like Hugh said, if he don't do it this year,
have we heard anything bad about the matches with Domino?
No, because that was the feel good comeback.
You know, he's working with the young talent. So usually when he works with young talent, he's in control of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like if they were stinkers, we would have heard about it. So
I don't think that's the problem though. You know what I mean? On a main scale, you put him and Seth, right? You know Seth gonna have a good match. Him and Drew gonna make sure it's a great match. Sami Zayn gonna have a good match. Or they might even tag together. You get what I'm saying? Whatever. You can put them in a multi-man match. You can only hide them but for so long because it's not gonna be the AEW problem where Darby had to carry him. It's gonna be, oh shoot, this is not Punk. Oh
yeah. Like,
you get what I'm saying? Like the fans, that's what I'm saying. I don't want him to turn because it's so interesting right now, and we're glamoring for all these matches because if you insert CM Punk with anybody on the Raw roster, it has that potential. He's gonna carry you with the mic. You're gonna want to get there, but then when the bell rings, what's gonna happen?
Think about it like this though. They changed the plans for WrestleMania 8 for a reason. That main event, they
that house show.
You should have delivered the main event.
And
Hogan versus Flair.
And to Brian Edge's point, when they had that match at WCW, it was flat. Like it was cool for the live audience, but it wasn't. It didn't suffice what people thought it was supposed. It was supposed to be generational talents of this era that had this mega clash, and it didn't. It didn't deliver. Like it was WCW was a Bash at the Beach, I think.
It was
and it did not deliver. Like, I'm sorry. Like, nobody goes back and talks about that match.
What you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Strike now. Like, I want to say, like, you got to strike before CM Punk isn't CM Punk. Like, look at Adam Copeland. He should have sat down and not came back.
I was sick of Adam.
That's it. Remember, it was okay. It was cool when he first came back. And was it you, Brian, or you the one that said if he had stayed gone and then came back to AEW, it would be different. You get what I'm saying? Like instead of return. Return into WWE. If he would have went to AEW when he returned.
Yeah, because that was his original plan. And he literally said, but I called WWE. He said, look, man, you guys can give me a shot. I'm coming to you first. But he that's when I knew he was going to AEW because I was like, I remember him saying in this little interview, in the little pay-per-view, like, no, I reached out to AEW first. Like they're the ones that offered me an opportunity to get back in the ring first. And I was like, all right, well, if they're going to do it and they're going to clear me, let me give WWE first crack at it. First, and it happens so that they were able to do so.
I feel I don't know. I understand what y'all say. I don't think the Punk. I just think that the players that be will make sure they're not gonna go out there and put on a bad match. I feel like they got better producers in WWE. So I feel like we'll get a good match regardless.
Bro, this is exhausting. I don't think we're not sure we came to an answer. So we had 3 people that said Punk. And Brian, who did you say? You said
I'm going with The Rock.
The Rock. He's like I said, once again, that's the next factor because we still got this whole Rock Roman thing that it's really not clearly defined. You said what?
You seen The Rock's Instagram subliminal messages?
I have. Not to mention, speaking of subliminal messages, and Brandon, you'll love this. We watched Young Rock. And at the time that Universal Championship was sitting in her room, like, oh, this is all my Rock memorabilia stuff. And everybody's like, oh no, that's not what that means. I'm like, okay, so why the heck would she have that Universal Championship in her room as a part of her collection when she was celebrating all Rock stuff? The stuff that wasn't in there wasn't wrestling related. So why do you have a Universal? That was the title that Roman Reigns was holding at that time. And earlier in that season, we had him introduce his cousin Joe for no reason at all. Outside of, once again, the island of relevance. He said, oh, that's my cousin Joe. And they literally gave
him as Roman Reigns.
You know what I mean?
They never watched wrestling as a family except that scene.
Come on now.
WrestleMania. Yep.
And what was the line? Acknowledge me. He's like, Joe, stop. He's like, no, come on, Dewey, wrestle me. He said, man, that match is a match that only deserves to be had at WrestleMania. Random. And I was like, is this what we're doing, Rock? I don't trust you. I don't trust Triple H. I don't trust anybody that comes from the business. He's from the business. So it's like, man, The Rock is not a contender. This is crazy. We're going to continue to have this conversation moving forward. We got to get out of here. But wow, this is amazing. I don't think we're any closer to the answer than we were when we started. Like, we have ideas, but this is just like, man, I'm just as confused. Like, brother, you look exhausted like me, bro. He's like, I don't. There's too many stories to still tell.
I'm just gonna sit back like a proud wrestling fan that I am.
There you go, brother.
T-shirt in the back there, right there. You know what I mean?
Nice,
and just enjoy.
That's
I was
kind of
definitely about to put on mine, but it was cold. I had to put on my Wrestling Wrealm hoodie.
I don't blame you. I need to get one. Like, I
gotta get a new one. Yeah.
So
the quality is amazing.
Yeah, I know. I did that.
And we got free Royal Farms. We got extra chicken from Royal Farms.
Yeah,
that is true. I heard that.
Yeah.
But
delicious chicken, as brother guy would say.
Follow us on all social media platforms. At
we didn't say the women. We didn't say the women.
Say what?
We did.
We did. Like I said, we came to a conclusion about Bailey, and we came to a conclusion about Rhea. So next week when we do the preview show, we can kind of go into detail about that. That they can have their own whole sector, because that's a whole nother. The way Triple H does the Rumble now, that's a whole different conversation in and out of itself that deserves like its own space. Because I'm not gonna get into it. I'm saving it for next week. So he almost got me. I'm not gonna be pulled into it.
Because you're gonna be too excited about championship culture next week.
Yeah, championship culture debuts. That's right. Episode 1. This is going to be an interesting one. There's a lot coming up in case you guys are not picking up what we're putting down. But definitely follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Wrealm at Championship Culture 2023. Is that still the handle we're doing?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, Championship Culture 2023 on Instagram. Correct? Is that just Instagram?
Just Instagram right now.
Okay, just Instagram. So definitely you want to catch up and stay up to date with everything Championship Culture. Debuts next week, season 2. We have a lot going on. Congratulations to Bridie's once again on Wednesdays Worldwide on the Ringer, the wrestling show. Celebrating the 1 year anniversary. There it is right there.
What? I can't do it like Cal, but one time for a good time.
You see how long it took for me to get a nice graphic like you've been doing on the show?
No, that's actually tough. Like, the crazy part is I didn't know what that graphic was, so I was like, "Oh shoot, that's what I was looking for." I was about to say I don't think we have nothing up right now, but there it is. But now we can put.
But Dolph Ziggler got 2 in 2 weeks. Dolph got 2.
Yeah.
Championship Culture 2023 on Instagram, YouTube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm. Championship Culture playlist. Man, it's season 2 is starting, and like I said, this is going to be a wild ride. I'm happy to be a part of it. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, join us. Excuse me, sorry. Join us next week as we get into we'll be close to our preview show. Like it's right there in front of us. We will have an official Royal Rumble preview show, and we will break down the card so far, the winners, the losers, what we have going on, and whatever else goes on in the world of professional wrestling during that week. Like I said, we'll be here next week, same time, same place. Please come back and join us. Shout out to everybody that joined us in the chat. We got to get out of here. We appreciate you all. We'll see you next week. We out of here. We gone. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!